Hey everybody, it's Andy's Free Guitar Chart Videos here. Welcome to my YouTube subscribers and my Facebook group friends, and anyone who's found this video. Please like and subscribe and follow the instructions below to access the Facebook group Andy's Free Guitar Chart Videos. We've got a few charts to catch up with here, so I'm going to have to gloss over some charts that I'd have to wrap my head back around. Well, I was working on this one most recently, and that is 341, which was kind of out of order a little bit because I worked on another topic, the modal cages and stuff. Long, short triad chord arpeggios, shape patterns. Okay, so what this chart's about, we have the caged wall over here. This is P4 tuning over here. Okay, now I know this is kind of like a tough thing to jump right into the wall here. So this is a P4 tuning pattern, which is just like the bottom four strings of your guitar, and then the tuning between the top two strings of the guitar, but not between the fourth and the fifth string. If you're counting from the bottom, which is the G and the B string, there's only a third. Your fret nuts here, it's only a third. But this is a P4 tuning diagram where you have root goes to 4 here. And the reason why we use P4 tuning diagram is because we never know where the tuning third is going to be. It could be any of 5 different places. So the pattern does repeat itself every 5 strings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then it repeats, but it migrates over unless we do the long patterns, which they migrate to the right, and that's why we use them to play away from the fret nut. Now, as it turns out, 724, which is our half diminished scale numbers, I'm just going to call them scale numbers, so root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Triad, root 3, 5. Triad, the Locrian triad, half diminished triad or diminished triad, 7, 2, 4. And in this particular chart, we're looking at major and minor, and in essence, major is root 3, 5, and minor is root 3, 6, even though it's just an inversion. Okay, so what I've done is, in the white notes here, we have root 3, 5, 6. Okay, so that covers the P4 shapes, anywhere you look at them. And I guess I just wanted to get everything here, so I could start on any one note, say root 3, 5, root 3, 5. You can do an arpeggio like that, starting on root, say here at this C. Anytime you have one triad member per string, you're going to have a repeat of that triad. So it's just root 3, 5, root 3, 5. That's it. Or 7, 2, 7, 2, here's 7, 7, 2, 4, and then 7, 2, 4. Now, that was a tricky one because there's an augmented fourth there, and plus I have to fix the colors. My A color looks like my B color. I use what you got to find a note, whatever method you have there, dots and everything. So that's what's going on with the 724 arpeggio. Now these are just the blackened notes with the numbers on them. We can start here. This is the beauty of this particular caged wall. We could start at 7, 2, 4, and then go up that augmented fourth, 7, 2. All right, so if we start 7, 2, 4, 7, 2, 4, 7, 2, 4, you see how it kind of hops along? That's why we needed so much of this. And then, of course, so we can refer to this diagram. It's going to be a very useful diagram in the future. But these are P4 tunings. The half diminished pentatonic is different, but still we have by string shapes. The string shapes, as you know, are 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4. Okay, now there's missing ones here because this is just half diminished pentatonic, but we can use it for pentatonic triad 7, 2, 4. So it's 7, 2, 4, 7, 2, 4. So now it's just an arpeggio. There's your arpeggio, 7, 2, 4. You know, arpeggios are just as good as triads. You just can't make chords out of them, right? So if we're starting from the A shape here, here's my G. Here's my A shape in the G. Okay, so it would be 7 up here, 7, then 2 on the next string shape, and then 4 on the Lydian string shape, then 7 on the E string shape. Of course, the E string shape is 7 root 2. Okay, 7, then 4. We've got to warp up for that 4 on the C string shape, and then G has the 7 again. So you can do it with, by string shapes too. But it's better to learn the P4 pattern and just adjust for the tuning third by moving the pattern up 1 fret when you get between the B and the G strings. There's so much more to learn today and so much more we can learn about guitar. Let's push on rather than get dragged down by diminished. So here's our CCA, G, E, E, D. These are the modal cages, and we're going to discuss them. And here's the regular cages. Now, this is the most recent chart I worked on, so I should be able to handle this. These are the regular tripentatonic cages. These are the modal chord shapes. Okay, in C, the chord shapes are regular. D minor shaped D minor, E minor shaped E minor. But then we have an E shaped F, G shaped G, A minor shaped A minor. Let's not get dragged down by the modals either. In the minor triads, okay, remember we talked about root 3, 6? So now in the regular string shapes, we've got root 3, 6, root 3, 6, root 3, 6, root 3, 6. So this is how we do the triads, but let's look at it. Here's the minor, and here's the P4 build for the minor triad. Root 3, 6, root 3, 6. Here's a minor third. Okay, in P4 tuning now. So this is it. First inversion is root 3, 6. Second inversion is 6, 3, 6 root. Root position is root 3, 6, like that. Now let's go over here and see what else we have for minor triads. So this is the minor triad we were looking at before. Now with the major triad, we got root 3, 5, root 3, 5, and it just hops along. But let's play that minor for a second. And root there, we're talking about the parent root. So it's the key, you see, it's the key root. So it's root 3, 6, root 3, 6. The tuning warp brings that third straight over the R. Now we've had many lessons on this in the past and many colorful charts about this. What makes this chart different? It's getting to know these shapes. This is what this chart is its purpose is getting to know these shapes. So let's look at we got long patterns and short patterns. In the red, we have the majors, and in the purple, we have the minors. Okay, and up top, we have the long patterns, and on the bottom, we have the short patterns. The first thing I ever learned was this. These are the little boxes you'll see the guitar teachers talking about. I call them a long pattern, so it's string 2, a 2-string long pattern. 3, 5, and then it would be 6 root here for pentatonic, but in triads just 3 5 root.